thanks to the soil of this country, what is called Hindustan Committee, we did not provide any kind of traction to their trap. So I salute India. I salute my forces. When 1971, Bangladesh was born. I mean, very few countries and their army, their forces have the courage and the conviction to change the world map. There's a fundamental difference between Indian army and Pakistani army. Pakistani army either loves to be in the government or chooses its government. Indian army is a professional force. Opposition does not have a separate prime minister. The prime minister of India is my prime minister also. So if I laud him, I have also the right to critique him. And these two things go together. Let's only confine ourselves to what our army has done with precision. An army does not follow political dictum. Please go ahead. Please ensure that justice is done. Please ensure that the roots of terrorism are eradicated forever. Mock drill shouldn't be one of kind of thing that today it happened. It should be regular with the kind of rogue neighbors you have. If this kind of polarizing statements find attraction in our country, what shall we do? Pahalgam or no Pahalgam, Prime Minister had to agree to this, and that's why he has agreed. Look at the statements of the people from RSS. Look at the statement of Chief Minister of UP. Look at the statement of Chief Minister of Rajasthan. After the announcement of in a particular time by the Prime Minister, I was worried that how would they ensure delete button.
Hello and welcome to HT's weekly talk show, The Interview. First, a salute to the armed forces for carrying out Operation Sindur with utmost precision and making every Indian proud. And kudos to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who delivered on his promise of Ghar mein ghus kar marenge vis-a-vis Pakistan. Operation Sindoor was the much awaited retribution to Pakistan's hollow rhetoric. Bar bar pranam is what RJD Member of Parliament Manoj Jha said, commending the armed forces. And rightly so, because he was echoing the national sentiment. But when it comes to Jha, one topic is never enough. How can one avoid asking him about the caste census, the BJP's game plan, and the forthcoming state elections in his home state, Bihar? There is this and much more with Manoj Jha as our guest in this edition of HT's weekly talk show, The Interview. Welcome to the show, Manoj Kumar Jha, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you so much.
What was your first reaction to the attack on Pakistan? Has Mr. Modi delivered on his Ghar mein ghus kar promise?
Look, I don't generally react on these kind of polemical and rhetorical statements. I'll rather go by what our armed forces and the press briefing yesterday. This ghastly attack on the tourists in Pahalgam on the 22nd of April was not simply another instance of terror attack. The idea was to spread poison in our society. And thanks to the soil of this country, what is called Hindustan Committee, we did not provide any kind of traction to their trap. So I salute India. I salute my forces. I was not there when 1971 Bangladesh was born. I mean, very few countries and their army, their forces have the courage and the conviction to change the world map. We have seen all that. Today is the day. We must salute our forces for their precision strike. Our army did not attack civilians in Pakistan, only identified 9 centers or I should call them laboratories, where the packaging for terror and terrorists were done. In the all party meeting, everybody is standing with the government. We have conveyed it in very few words. Please go ahead. Please ensure that justice is done. Please ensure that the roots of terrorism are eradicated forever. So I'll request you, please allow me to speak my mind and don't attribute words to me.
I was not attributing words. All that I was asking is, would the opposition commend Mr. Modi for his courage?
Look, I must tell you, Indian army, and there's a fundamental difference between Indian army and Pakistani army. Pakistani army either loves to be in the government or chooses its government. Indian army is a professional force. You know, after the election, opposition does not have a separate prime minister. The prime minister of India is my prime minister also. So if I loved him, I have also the right to critique him. And these two things go together. But what I was saying, let's only confine ourselves to what our army has done with precision. An army does not follow political dictum. They have a professional pattern to act. They have acted in the past. I give you one example. Can you name any force all over the world which created a separate nation, changed the world map? I think that time also people reserved it only for the Indian army. And if that doesn't go down well with you, I can't say anything.
Yet the Prime Minister did give the armed forces a free hand.
You know, I agree with you. Ultimately, as a nation, cutting across political party, whom should we salute? If we salute only the prime minister, not the forces, which were in the forefront, I'm repeating it. There is a conflict going on in Israel, Palestine. Their precision strikes, and look at our precision strike. There is a fundamental difference. There are the civilian casualties there. In our case, we ensured no civilian casualty. I think that should be the hallmark of any discussion on what we have.
Fair enough. What is the big takeaway of Operation Sindoor?
The biggest takeaway is that we are a very responsible nation. In the committee of nation, where irresponsible behavior gets traction, we have shown the combination of diligence, conviction, professionalism, and that should be lauded by everyone. That's the biggest takeaway.
Two women officers, one a Muslim, the retaliation named Operation Sindoor. What does all this say about the government's thought process and the messaging?
This is what exactly India is all about. India is not simply a nation, it's an idea. And the idea is a civilizational idea that got reflected. But more than Vyamika and Sophia or Mishri Saab, what is important, what the briefing said, that the attack aimed at polarization in our country. Now you have to reflect which were the Twitter handle which fell in that trap. Immediately after an hour of that ghastly attack, you know the Twitter handle of a political party from Chhattisgarh, from Karnataka, and so on and so forth. We literally saved ourselves from the trap. So I believe that briefing was a kind of reclaiming and reaffirming that idea of India, and the world has heard it, and they have heard it loud and clear.
What is your take on the preparedness of the government, the mock drills, for instance? And you've been talking about that.
Look, mock drills, particularly when you have neighbors whose behavior is unpredictable, and I'm not confining myself only with Pakistan, including the Chinese, what we have seen in Galwan. I think that that kind of drills should be integral to uh, our lives, are part of our preparedness, because both these neighbors, if we look back last 30, 40, 50 years, they have been highly unpredictable. So I think that kind of thing should continue.
But you seem to be saying something different today because till recently, what I heard was you said Why should these be publicized?
My concern was, I tell you, not only about mock drill. My concern was why media says that deployment in Arab Sagar or the airports, we are manning it, leave cancellation. I think these should be very for internal consumption, because in this kind of a media world, where a news item from India finds attraction in Europe, in Pakistan, in China, we should be very careful about what is being debated in the media or discussed in the media. Uh, I mean, that worries me as a citizen. It was not solely on mock drill. It was about that every television channel saying that forces are moving from here to there, forces deployment is there, aircraft is ready, falana aircraft from France, it is equipped with these kind of missiles. And I mean, that's for the forces to decide. There is something called secrecy in these kind of operations.
We'll shift focus from the media, but don't mock drills really send a message to the neighbor, and in, if you want me to use the word enemy, that we are well prepared, and if you come in or if you attack, you do it at your peril.
I don't disagree. Who would disagree? But my essential point remains that there is something called secrecy of deployment, cancellation of leave, who is being sent where, which warplanes are deployed where. I mean, these are the things which television anchors and amateur people should not discuss and comment about.
So you're okay with mock drills being publicized and the world knowing that we are prepared?
Shouldn't be one of kind of thing that today it happened. It should be regular with the kind of rogue neighbors you have.
You know, the opposition has been speaking in different voices. The Congress, for instance, has spoken about Muslims being mistreated and linked this to the Pahalgam attack. Another congressman wants names and exact numbers of those killed and so on and so forth. What would you say about and to your alliance partner?
No, no. Let me, Kumkumji, let me tell you, I'm here independently representing my political party. I don't know who you refer to. If I remember correctly, that gentleman happens to be the husband of a political leader, a member of parliament. I don't know whether he is part of the Indian National Congress. But then what would you do, Kumkumji, when Chhattisgarh BJP or Karnataka BJP, immediately after the Pahalgam attack, what their Twitter handle said? That was more devastating. All of us were alarmed. If this kind of polarizing statements find attraction in our country, what shall we do? You can fight an enemy outside. But if the fight comes to this level, I think there is a decline in the kind of discourses we have chosen in public life. And the decline is from all sides. I won't blame only one side. That should be arrested, that should be halted as soon as possible. We contest election, we differ on lot many things, but ultimately on issues of national integrity, unity, sovereignty, and issues like terrorism, I think this nation doesn't speak multiple voices.
Point well taken. But when you said it was the husband of one of the Congress people, let me also add there were two Congress men. One was Imran Masood, and the other was Mr. Rashid Alvi, who said, "We want names and exact numbers of those killed." What would you say to that?
I don't agree. I don't approve. India has one voice. So we should also not give them traction. Anybody is speaking this kind of language, including whether you are speaking about Imran ji or Rashid ji or Chhattisgarh BJP or Karnataka BJP, they must understand what position they hold. It's a responsible position. And responsible means responsibility. It's not time to score political brownie points.
Let us shift focus. What impact will recent developments, the Pahalgam terror and Operation Sindoor, have on the Bihar elections?
I don't even wish to talk about it. I mean, these kind of issues should not be linked to any election.
I will still try and push this a little further. And you know, whatever you may say, nothing unites the people as national unity. And though unfortunate, Pahalgam has come handy, unfortunately, in demonstrating Modi as a leader who dares. Doesn't that put the opposition and India alliance kind of on the back foot electorally?
Look, if there were differences of opinion on what the Indian army should do, then it would have impacted. When there is no difference of opinion, the entire nation is speaking in one language. Where have we come? Issues of nationalism and patriotism are the issues where everybody is united. What matters ultimately when you go to choose a government is what the government offers in terms of employment, in terms of hunger index, in terms of social solidarity and cordiality, in terms of enhanced social security. Anybody, when he or she speaks this language, at least I, as an individual, on behalf of my party, I feel thoroughly uncomfortable.
Let me shift from this discomfort to something which will perhaps make you more comfortable, which is the caste census and the timing of the announcement by the BJP. You know, the people had to yet recover from the horror of the Pahalgam attack. And here comes this surprise announcement. You know, what do you make of it? And what was the compulsion, the political compulsion, given that the elections, the Bihar elections, are a few months away and the announcement could have been delayed by a few weeks? So, what would you say to the announcement and to the timing of that announcement?
Look, Kumkumji, in 2022, I've said this that this prime minister himself will announce caste census. You know why? An idea which arrives in a big way, nobody has the guts to set it aside. Caste census as an idea has become very powerful. I'm sure Prime Minister has a team which actually hears voices from the ground. So Prime Minister knew that this cannot be perpetually kept on the back burner. In Bihar, when the Nitish Kumar government, Tejasvi ji joined him, one of his condition was that please agree to caste survey. Nitish ji agreed, and caste survey was done. The grim reality of that resulted in lots of announcements, which subsequently again Nitish ji went to BJP, which didn't work. But quantum of reservation was enhanced to 65% plus 10% EWS. We requested the Honorable Prime Minister to put it in the ninth schedule. He refused to do so. They even had proxy kind of roadblocks in the first in the High Court, then in the Supreme Court. Rashtriya Janata Dal, its leadership is fighting in the Supreme Court also. So what I'm telling you, that Telangana did subsequently, Karnataka did, this has a huge traction amongst OBCs and ABCs. This traction could not be ignored by Pahalgam or no Pahalgam. Prime Minister had to agree to this, and that's why he has agreed. But this agreement, so far, we will be on alert mode. We would ensure that sufficient anthropological and sociological input is provided and it results in transformatory social policy, enhancement of the quota of reservation, extending it to the private sector, because that's a myth. Private is private.
What about the timing?
Look, Mr. Prime Minister, I would consider him that he has the capacity to take U-turn. On caste census, just check his statements. What kind of statements? Many of them ridiculous ones, ridiculing the opposition. They'll divide the society. This was his opinion. Look at the statements of the people from RSS. Look at the statement of Chief Minister of UP. Look at the statement of Chief Minister of Rajasthan. After the announcement of a particular in a particular time by the Prime Minister, I was worried that how would they ensure delete button on their previous statements. It's very difficult. One of the most difficult exercise in life is to eat your own words.
Yes, but again, what about the timing?
Mr. Prime Minister, when he knows that this idea is going beyond his control, he had to do it. That's why I say Pahalgam or no Pahalgam. Idea had arrived. He had to do it before monsoon session of the parliament.
Objectively speaking, and I ask you purely objectively, what can be the negative fallout of the caste census? That one thing which we need to guard against.
Look, first of all, there is no negative fallout, Kumkumji. Even if I become devil's advocate, I cannot fight. I can tell you, many people from the caste Hindu community, they have different kinds of issues. One issue is in Bihar when we did it, many of them said that we can't be so less. And then I had written about it that visibility has nothing to do with numerical strength. You are more visible because a large section of our population has been made invisible. So your visibility index goes up. Secondly, Kumkumji, merit is a kind of myth. Your merit is shaped by the privileges you have. My parents were university professors. So at each stage of failure in my life, I was handholded. Many of the people from OBC and EBC community who were the first time learners, they did not have this kind of privilege.
Would you give credit to Rahul Gandhi for the government turnaround, given that he had made the caste census his personal mission? And in one sense, this is his first major policy victory, so to speak.
I would give credit to all those people who fought for this idea. When Mandal Commission came, since that time, this idea got traction. There was a time in the 40s because of caste operation. Many people used to know not utter clearly their caste background. Things have changed. Now, when Laluji, Mulayam Singh ji, Sharad Yadav ji, in 2000 onwards, they started speaking about it. 2011, the then Manmohan Singh ji government agreed for a census, SECC, socio-economic caste census. It happened. Now look at the fact. I gave you Bihar example that how Tejaswi ji, in fact, continuously for last 8 years, I'm a personal witness, has been speaking about it. 2011 census, when I personally asked for that data, by that time Modi ji had come in the parliament. We were told, at least on 3 occasions, I was told that data got corrupted. And in a lighter note, I said I don't know where the corruption took place, in the mines or in the data. Anyway, then subsequently in last couple of years, Rahul ji took it up. So it's a combined victory of anybody who believes in the idea of Bahujan politics. That jiski jitni bhagedari, uski utni hissedari. It does not have a single authorship. It has multiple authorship, multiple ownership.
I will wrap up on one key question while you mentioned Mr. Tejasvi Yadav. Who is the CM face of the alliance in Bihar?
Do you have any doubt? All surveys speak about just one name. Surveys might differ on a lot many things, but on the most preferred CM face, Tejasvi Yadav. Last election was also, in fact, we fought together again under his leadership. And I have been jokingly saying to people in Patna and Delhi that even if Tejasvi ji wants to decline this, he cannot. Because there are certain things which emanate from the ground. People want to contest under his leadership. So that's a settled question.
Mr. Manoj Kumar Jha, thank you very much. Thank you for your time and thank you for answering most of the questions, though some rather guardedly.
I don't know. But anyway, thank you.